Alright. Looks like there we go. Looks like I'm streaming now. Alright. What are we going to do this week? Well, we're going to go through some new comics that I picked up today. This is Golden State Comics live stream. Follow me on Twitter, Golden Boy Photo 1, or search for Golden State Comics. I'll go over some of the stuff I picked up. I picked up a ton of dollar bin dives. But just some stuff that I picked up. I'm going to go over these and I'll put them into my CLZ. But first of all, of course, I had to get Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys the Marvel History. Fun, really good. I like it. I'm enjoying it. This is a Fantastic Four #1, one of the new series. I just didn't have it yet. Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal. I'm curious to read this. I haven't read it yet. Hopefully it's enjoyable. I don't know. It's kind of cute and cartoony. Silly. So, we'll see how that goes. Picked up Xerxes #3 and 4, Frank Miller. Or, excuse me, #4 and 5. I have #3. This is #4 and 5. Okay. Which is funny, because that book was written ages ago. Okay. And here's a Marvel Spectacular #7, Mighty Thor, starring. This is a mid-70s Jack Kirby reprint of originally presented in Thor #136, right? Retelling some of the Thor story with some always enjoyable Jack Kirby artwork. So, cool. Found that for just a couple bucks. Okay, let's get over to my dollar bin dive. Let me get the pile. Alright. Okay, pile of dollar bin stuff. I want to talk about that later. Okay, there's a couple really good things. You know, I like to go dollar bin diving. We find a lot of fun hidden treasures in the dollar bin. Sometimes you just grab stuff that either looks interesting or stuff you've never seen, or sometimes just books to fill out and complete a run or something, you know. So, here we go. We got issues 1 and 4 of Ape City. This is a black and white Planet of the Apes comic series, and it's kind of, you know, about normal ape-like life, right? In Ape City. I kind of can call it like it's like Archie, but for Planet of the Apes. Inside image with Trencher. Well, this is a flip cover. You have Shaman's Tears on one side. You have Trencher on the other. I will always put the Trencher side up because screw Shaman's Tears. Let's see. New Universe Justice #3, newsstand edition. Not a New Universe is an interesting line of Marvel Comics. How about some EC Comics reprints? I'd never seen these reprints before. It was in the dollar bin. Incredible science fiction, formerly weird science fiction. But these are like old EC reprints, from what I'm to understand. I don't think it's a new story. This came out in when? 94. So I don't remember these at all. I'm assuming that they're all old EC reprints. But that's cool. I'll always take that. Denizens of Deep City. This is Doug Potter. This is Kitchen Sink Press, and I'll generally, if I am in a dollar bin, I see anything Kitchen Sink Press, you grab it, right? Kind of cartoony, kind of underground feel, as almost anything Kitchen Sink Press will be. Haven't read it yet. Looks cool though. I'm curious to see what it's all about. There's an ad for Omaha the Cat Dancer. There's actually a lot of ads. This is when Kitchen Sink was doing the Little Abner reprints. Cool. So that's cool. You don't see that. Let's see. Here's DC's Judge Dredd. Image Chassis. This is Image Chassis #1. This is a forgettable comic in pretty much every way you can think of. Pencils by William O'Neill, inks by Larry Welch. Colors are just really just flashy digital. I mean, it might be a good book. I have absolutely zero interest to read it, but I'd never seen it before, so I always pick up stuff that I'd never seen before. Demon Slayer #1. I think the last time I was on, I showed you guys I picked up Demon Slayer #2 or 3. So here's #1. So cool. To complete your Demon Slayer series. This is a cool find. This is Dark Horse, black and white. This is the Adventures of Luther Arkwright. Arkwright. This is Brian Talbot. If you know anything about Brian Talbot's work, I mean, highly detailed, pencil and ink, very elaborate storytelling. So this is a cool find. You don't see this around very much. You don't see any of these black and white Brian Talbot stuff quite as much. Let's see. This is a Harvey Kids comic, first sizzling issue, Hot Stuff #1, newsstand edition. Nth Man, Ultimate Ninja #3, direct edition. This one, Grendel Tales, The Devil in Our Midst #5. If you look at my collection online, I have like almost, I thought I had like all the Grendel Tales series. I don't know this series. I mean, to be fair, I've never like gone out of my way to collect them. I just always assumed, because I had a whole bunch of them, that I had them all. But no, I don't have this series, and this cover and the art inside here is amazing. I want to see more Grendel in this cool boxy cartoon style. I'm super excited that this is some new Grendel that I've never read before. Married with Children #2. This was kind of a weird comic. It was kind of a big thing now, comics, when it came out. It's got a fold poster inside. I mean, this is hilarious because, let's see. This is Kelly Goes to College Part 2. And this is Chuck Frazier pencil, Barry Daniel Peterson inker. And they made Kelly extremely curvy in this. So I don't know what's going on there. But what I also found, I was reading through this, and in the back there's this picture that's Kelly Goes to College #3, and it has a cover here, and I'm curious to look this up. I don't know if this picture resembles, if anyone recognizes it, but I have a print. A James Lisner, the guy who does Dawn, I have a print of his where he did a lady on it with like this kind of paper backdrop that looks almost exactly the same. I'm wondering if it's the same, if he did that cover. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Here's a Dark Horse Presents #18. I think this is 18. 15, excuse me, 15, Captain Crusader, Babes in Arms, Mask. Always buy Dark Horse Presents. This is still all black and white Dark Horse. Ninja Special #1. I have some old Ninja comics. This has got just this really cool cover. I'm interested. For $1, I'll always grab it. There's ad for Problem with Girls, ad for X Mutants. This is all black and white newsprint cartoon. Team America #3. Now this one I'm sure I got for $1 mainly because it has this sticker kind of stuck on the cover. I'm sure that's why it was in the dollar bin. That's a cool find. I think last time I was on, I showed you guys Team America #1. So that's #3. Direct edition. Let's put that aside for a second. Topps Comics, Bill the Galactic Hero. This comic is stupid. It's not a good read. The art is lame. It's very boring. I don't recommend it, but I'd never seen it before, and it was $1. Okay, here's a cool one. Here's Hardware. Okay, this is Hardware from DC Milestones. This is #16, version 2.0. Now, the only reason that you get this comic is because it has this awesome gatefold of John Byrne doing Hardware inside. So that's kind of a cool little find. Lobo #1,000,000. Okay, that's a cool one. Pact #1, not a good comic. It's Valentino, and I like Valentino's early Image stuff, but this is like too much. Like there's just too much stuff going on. It's like they took Shadowhawk and turned it up a notch. These are two different series from Bob Hickey's Blood and Roses. This is a #1 here, and this is a #2. But this one is a newer series. It's an older series. This one is color, and it's got this weird, like, almost watercolory look to it. This one, though, is black and white and much more interesting to look at, honestly, if you ask me. So, interesting. This is one that I'm super excited about. Breathtaker, DC #4. I've never heard of this book. I've never seen this book. I don't know how I missed this. This is 1990. Mark Wheatley, and the art looks awesome. I don't know what's going on in this story. This is #4, but I'm super curious after reading through this. Like, I don't know what's going on in this book, but I totally want to see more. So that's kind of neat. It looks something more like a Vertigo type book. Just an old Legion of Superheroes. This is still Keith Giffen run. That's #298. Arak, Son of Thunder. I picked this one up because the way that he's standing is absolutely insane to me. He's like standing and then bending over at a 90. And I don't know. That's not how people stand. So I don't know what's going on. Here's just a Supreme #5. Not a pretty forgettable comic. Here's like a 16-page, a little half comic, Purgatory. This is Jim Balent, as you can probably tell by the cover if you know anything about Jim Balent books. Of course, mostly naked, sexy women, because that's basically what he does. And then witches and occult, right? That's what Jim Balent does. If you've ever read like tarot or any of his books, that's essentially what they're known for. So, kind of interesting, just because I've never seen it. I mean, oh no, weird butt cheeks. All right. Overall, I'm not really that interested in it, but it's a book that I'd never quite seen before. Coming next, Purgatory, the Vampire's Myth. Purgatory. Prelude. This is Prelude #1. I mean, I support Jim Balent, I support Holly. I'm not a big fan of their books. So, AD&D #8. AD&D, quite possibly the most boring comic ever written. Man. Not entertaining. Art's not good. Okay. This is fun. This is a really cool find. This is Doom 2099 #42, right? Yep, #42. And Fantastic Four 1996 versus Doom 2099. And it's got just some of the coolest art that you've ever seen in a Fantastic Four book. Very kind of like stylistic, very much almost like a Sam Keith style. Not quite as much detail or interest, but kind of, more in the strange cartoon style. So I like that. I'm into that one. Okay, Beavis and Butthead #12. Beavis and Butthead comics, along with Ren and Stimpy comics, we read the shit out of as kids. They're funny. They're stupid. Good Guys #2. Defiant. This is Jim Shooter's. He was editor of Defiant. I think this was right after he was. Was it right after or right before Valiant? I don't quite remember. Wait. Yeah, Jim Shooter. That's right. Okay. I don't remember where in the time. I think it's right after Valiant. After he got kicked out of Valiant. Official Marvel Index Guide to the Marvel Team-Up. I love these Marvel Index Guide books. X-Men #29. Nothing too fancy there. The issue before Cyclops and Jean Grey got married. Youngblood #6. Just a missing piece in my series. Youngblood is really an unreadable comic. Adventures of the Outsiders. I just had to get this cover. It's really silly and ridiculous. Here's a Lobo #0. I got this, but I think I didn't bother looking up whether I had it already. I might have it. I'll generally buy Lobo. These are all dollar bin finds. Here we go. Black Wolf #1 and #4. This has like a, you know, an embossed or die pressed cover or whatever. Not a particularly interesting Marvel book, honestly. That's why, you know, we're not sitting here still talking about the newest MCU character, Black Wolf. Oh, I said Dark Wolf, didn't I? Black Wolf. All right. Issues #3 and 4 of Felicia Hardy, The Black Cat, direct edition. I love that it's inside. Cardiac. Who remembers Cardiac? Image Comics, Black and White #2 and 3. Again, kind of a forgettable Image comic, but ones that I didn't quite have. I kind of like I don't know what's going on with this top. Like, they had to have any reason to show cleavage, but also give her a weird top where she looks like she's a member of Team Rocket, but her shirt shrunk. Black Terror, books 1, 2, and 3. These are kind of square-bound, painted books. These are actually really neat. I'm interested to read these. Seduction of Deceit. Painted by Daniel Brereton, written by Bo Smith and Charles Dixon, Eclipse Comics. So that's kind of interesting stuff you don't see around every day. And then we got a couple just random John Byrne X-Men's, ones I didn't have. All right, a couple more. We're almost there. Phantom Force #1. I always buy this comic when I see it. This is kind of, Phantom Force was kind of the last work that Jack Kirby did, kind of the last project before he died. These are Jack Kirby plots and pencils inked over by the Image founding fathers. So you have inks by Liefeld, McFarlane, Jim Lee, Silvestri, Larson, Scott Williams, Jerry Ordway, Daniel Mickey. So you pretty much have everyone. I mean, a huge part of this book was to, you know, support Jack Kirby, right? Jin Sing, Super Tiger of the Martial Arts, a pinup by Jack Kirby and Eric Larson. Bonus pinup by Jack Kirby and Jim Lee. Let's see. Is there another pinup? Everybody, it's got little blurbs of everyone writing about Jack Kirby. Book review, The Art of Jack Kirby. Inking credits. Oh, there's inking credits in there. It tells who inked which pages. So they all mixed it up. It wasn't like a chunk. There was a Mickey, 2 Larsons, Lee, Mickey, Williams, Ordway, Mickey. Todd McFarlane did page 11 and 19, and that was it. He was too busy. I ain't got time for that. All right. I picked up, here's a couple things. I picked up a couple Marvel UK imprints, both of these books. So they tried to push Marvel UK in the early 90s for a little while with characters like Death's Head 2, who's really cool. Really cool art in a lot of these. You get a lot of team-ups. You get Cable, you get Wolverine, you get Hulk in these, you get Psylocke, Dark Angel. Not particularly memorable books, but some cool artwork. Now this is a cool find. Not worth a whole ton, but a cool find to find in a dollar bin. Eagle Comics, Judge Dredd Crime File #1 from 1985, art by John Byrne in here. Like, that's neat. I think that's pretty cool. All right, the couple books that I found in the dollar bin that are kind of my favorites are, one, Blackball Comics #1. This is Keith Giffen's like self-produced. I mean, you have Trencher here right on the cover. Self-published kind of deal. It's Keith Giffen and what's his name? Kevin O'Neill. So this is cool. This is a cool find. Not worth a whole ton, but a good read, a good comic. I love Trencher. I will always read Trencher comics. I always I think that they're great. Now this is my favorite. This is like the best comic I've read in a long time. This is Billy Cole #1, Ted Seco. I didn't know this comic. I picked it up just so I was like, oh, that's a weird comic. I've never seen that before. This comic is hilarious and I love it. It's about this little kid. I'm guessing that's Billy Cole. They don't really say. But the story is Billy Cole. In the beginning, he's a baby in his mom's belly, and at one point he gets awareness, and that's when he decides he's going to pop out of his mom right then and there, rip off his umbilical cord for the purposes of stopping evil from destroying the world. And then he just goes around and meets people that's very noir. It looks like a parody of like Sin City. He goes around and meets people and just is on the lookout for things that are evil that he can fight, and literally like gets in fist fights with bad guys as this little naked baby running around, right? I'm in love with this thing. This comic is amazing. I'm kind of upset that I've never seen this before. It's by Cult Press. I don't know anything about Cult Press. Let's see. Cult Press. Let's see if we can find out the publisher. Catalog. Let's see. Publisher Robert Graff. Editorial director Leon. Just Leon? James Campbell. Like, I don't know who these people are. But I am in love with this book, and I looked quickly on a couple of websites. Apparently, there's like 4 issues of this series, so I think I'm gonna need to get them because I want to read more of this. And the art, I mean, for being like a black and white based noir, is really interesting and good. And I love how the little kid himself is still a cartoon while everything else is kind of black and noir. I think that's a neat design. So that's everything I got. That's my dollar bin dive for today. I already went over new books. So I'm going to get started, do some CLZ stuff, get these in the database. You can view them up on my, my CLZ page if you're interested in that. And cool. I'll check you guys later. Go ahead. Oh, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Golden Boy Photo 1, or just search for Golden State Comics, and you'll find me. I post a lot there, interact a lot with comic stuff, post a lot of pictures of stuff I get. So you can follow me there. You can also just search for Golden Boy Photography on various social medias and find my other projects. I do podcasting. I do photography. I do a whole lot of stuff. So anything you might be interested in, yeah, go ahead and follow me. So I'll check you guys later.